This is the UniFi G6 Dome. It has IK10 tamper resistance. It has a large image sensor with up to 4K resolution, and also the IR in here is rated up to nearly 100 feet. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Bogdan Shperny, founder of Apex One IT. We do networking and security. In this video, I'll show you what comes in the box with the G6 Dome. We'll go through the installation. I have a portable building here, sheet metal, so I'll install it on that. And then at the end, I'll just show you what the footage looks like, both nighttime, daytime, the microphone as well. Nice lens cover. Probably want to remove that after installation. This all feels metal, that nice, pretty soft, matte white finish on it. The lens here is of course glossy, but then the black around it, the base. You can see where the cable, if you surface mount this, where the cable would go. So then a mounting template. Looks like the surface mounting here. This is for the drop ceiling. We won't need that. Tool, that's for this guy. UniFi branded. All right, there's our open box wrench, UniFi branded. So the way it comes, it looks like you have to disassemble it first. So we'll do that to take this base off. And then in with this guy, which is like actually feels like plastic or very light aluminum or something. You need to choose the correct grommet for our cable diameter. Okay, so this I'll show you, that's for the drop ceiling tile. So it has everything you need. And kind of our typical, UniFi screws here. The small ones that are flathead and with these tiny, plastic anchors. So we won't be using that because I'll be going straight into sheet metal. So I'll just have to drill through and then these will, somewhat cut the threads on its own. They should be able to. I hope. We'll see. Okay, and it does come with that release tool for here. Save that for later. Then finally, okay, so here they actually provide you not like a Allen style Torx, which is probably a T8 as well. I like mine that has a little top here that doesn't move. Makes it much easier. This puppy articulates, almost a complete 180. Then this kind of your alignment, but it should twist, yeah. Okay, so a little bit over 90 and a little past 90 here too. Okay, so this will be eventually like so. Wait, this way. Yeah, and then it's gonna churn. This guy will align here, okay. The only thing here, I probably need a conduit box. This might be a little bit low profile. If I had a nice conduit box, I would clear this wall. I might have to do that. That might be better, especially because this is flexible. And this is like a little, it's kind of hard plastic. It might not do too well. But that's all I have today, so I guess we'll find out, okay? You'll know that if you can install this straight on sheet metal, or if you probably want a box. That pass-through should be 11/16. Okay, 5/64 looks good for these screws if going to sheet metal. Then we'll try one right after. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna go pretty light. Just because, it's a hard plastic. I don't want to, most likely if I deform it, it's gonna be hard to install the actual camera on it. But as you can see, you definitely, if you have your connector already, cable already terminated, oops, you just want to pull it out before you install this bracket. Now this is like the Cat6 box cable from UniFi. It might be a little bit nicer to use a patch cable here to be a little bit more flexible. Pass that through, then line this dot with that gray dot, and we'll turn it clockwise. Look at that, it's locked in. Yeah, it starts getting tight. Okay, I'm applying some pressure to this nut because it's real easy to cross thread it. This looks like it has some sticky, yeah. There's my notification. Okay, so I have the camera right here. I'm watching the view. Where it's pointing. Okay, so I'm going to, so the whole base here, gonna have to grab, it rotates as well, right? Because I want it pointing that way towards the building or alongside the building. So I want you to do a couple things. Rotate the whole body. or the outer body camera lens, then turn it. Whoops. So tilt, yeah. Nice. Okay, so this guy is not a problem. It's just barely grabbing it. Okay, so now I got it where I want it. Make sure that's clean. These guys need to align. So let's see here. Looks like that. The two holes with these two. Okay, so once I put, this on, this will be sealed. There's a white rubber gasket right there. But, there's a hole in this and here, so in the back. So you do want to silicone that around the top at least. So this comes on white, but it dries clear, so nothing to worry about. Okay, this is obviously our roof right here. So nothing really happened here, just in case side rain comes in just from the top, so it doesn't go into that large opening where that cable was. Okay, I almost missed this, but in the box, it's not just the user manual. There's also another one that's like this, and it's supposed to be a cloth, apparently. Look at that. It's gonna be like the Apple polishing cloth. But yeah, it's clean. I probably should have wiped this inside first too. The camera's now been installed for a couple months actually, or several weeks. And I've tested in different ways. There's been a lot of traffic. I myself walked around, drove around, okay? And to make it kind of useful, easier to digest what it is, I put together this table at various distances. Now, what's important to know here is kind of the setup. These values, obviously just my testing, is pretty rough. I'll say like plus or minus 30%. And so what you see here is, here's the camera right here where I have it mounted, right? And it's pointed, something like that. And if you go by these are 15, 25, 50, 75, and 100 feet, okay? And this is also a parking lot, so cars, typically won't go faster than like 15 miles an hour, something like that. And there's actually, parking. It's kind of hard to see, but there's parking here and here, as you'll see in the videos. And the nighttime, I didn't really test the IR on this because there is a light mounted somewhere here on top, and it essentially, I would say, is effective up to this 50-foot line, which I've kind of learned you don't want to do this because now you don't have IR, so things back here are not lit up well, and then the camera's not in IR, it's not emitting that infrared, and so it doesn't capture well back here. So I would say if you want to light things up, just make sure you light up the entire space. Probably more lighting, or it's probably just to go night vision and you'll get better detections all the way throughout. So the way I would use this, especially when you're designing it, is just look at the distance or think, what detection do you need? Like, do you need license plate recognition? Then you should know that, at 50 feet, it's not going to do quite well. It's going to be off by quite a bit of characters. At 25 feet, especially in the parking lot, like cars are getting parked, you will most likely actually capture every single character, maybe off by one. At 15 feet, you're definitely going to be good. Now with person detection, all the way up to 100 feet, it was even detecting face. You won't get any detections here. At about roughly 50 feet in this scenario, right, this yellow line is, I got some detections, and I'll give you examples kind of each of these in a second. And then at 25 feet, I wrote okay. So maybe you'll get detections with a little asterisk because, it kind of depends how you're facing. And really, this one was close because it's really I found that at 20 feet, at least in this scenario, it works pretty well. And then audio, so in all of these, even at 100 feet, if there's kind of nothing much going on, you could hear things, and I could hear myself what I'm saying because I know what I was saying. But here at 50 feet, you'll definitely hear it. And at 25 below, it'll be pretty clear. Obviously, if there's not a lot of loud noise. Now, let me give you some examples. So with LPR, what does it mean that it's poor detection? Let me show you. I'm streaming this, not locally, through the internet. And you'll see the characters are quite a bit off. It does start with 9, but it should be 9 VYD 840. Okay, so this is, and it's roughly at 50 feet. It only has a back plate, so that's when they picked it up. This is now at 25 feet, and you'll see, right, the plate there is perfect. 9 vid 840, and off it goes. Okay, so that car was basically right here, and then backed up to here. It's probably like 30 feet, and then we drove off that way. And then at 15 feet, of course, it will be perfect. Okay, we'll skip over the person detections. Basically, it'll detect that fine. Sometimes around 100 feet, it may or may not, I would say. So for face recognition, at 50 feet, it's pretty poor, okay? So let's take a look at that first. Okay, so again, I'm streaming here, but I'm approaching. You see that green box is kind of recognizing a face there a bit. So the thumbnail for that one, for 50 feet, is this one. I mean, this is just one that I took. And you can see it wouldn't even match it to my face that it has in the system here, as it would for this closer one that we'll take a look in a second. But so if we play, I'm walking, it has that green box. So if it finds me, right, that's a person, right? So these thumbnails really show down here. This is me continuing to walk in front of these benches. If you kind of look at it closely, that's what it looks like at 50 feet. So yes, if you know, again, who this is, then you can probably tell it's me. Otherwise, you would not know. Okay, then this kind of coming from 25 to 20 feet roughly. And that's this thumbnail. You can tell already that it's registering that it's my face based on other images that it has of me. And let me actually, so I just zoomed in 200%, just so you can see it. Okay, then I'm approaching here to 15 feet. Now I don't have a new thumbnail here because it's using the same one from before, because it's one event, but that's 200% zoom in, right? That's what it looks like. Okay, now last thing for audio, what does it sound like? So at, let me show you here, 75 feet, what I consider poor quality, okay? Okay, so here, when I'm looking straight at the camera, you might be able to hear that I'm saying that I'm at 75 feet away from the camera. And then once I turn, 180, you cannot hear that. And now at 50 feet, what I consider okay, or maybe. Okay, then we're at 50 feet to the camera. Let's see if it gets my face right now. I'll look around. Okay, so when I'm looking straight at the camera, there's a little bit of wind noise. I don't have any wind reduction on or anything like that. But I can hear every word that I'm saying there. Okay, then finally at 25 feet and below, I think you'll definitely hear quite well. 25 feet is also a good test. Speaking for you. So that was 25 feet. Pretty good. Hit the like button and subscribe if this kind of review is helpful to you. I personally use this myself, this kind of table, when I'm designing a camera security system for clients. And of course, I'm using UniFi Design Center. But keeping this in the back of my mind when I'm checking, okay, if they need certain types of detections in certain areas, I can be sure that that's going to happen. And I, of course, use it to get a field of view, POE budgets. That's the kind of thing you can do with UniFi Design Center. If you need more info, kind of my best tips, just click on this video up here. So I'll see you there or down below in the comments section. Thanks for watching. Take care.